Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that you will receive alerts when there are new episodes. Go get it.
That's what I tell 'em. I've been grinding for so long, I wake up and chase my goals. I go out and I go get it. How to code, that's all I know. I don't succeed, then I don't breathe. Success, what does it mean? If I conquer all my goals, then I'm living out my dream. Dig deep, go out and get it. Success Chronicles, compete until it's finished. Success Chronicles, go take care of your business. Success Chronicles, it's deeper than just winning. Success Chronicles.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Chip Baker coming to you with a topic session. And today we have Miss Tara Desiderio with us. Great lady and involved in lots as far as education and truly doing lots to connect, network, and make a positive impact in the education setting. And so I just wanted to, come on with her and do a topic session. And today we're going to talk about ways to make a positive impact in education. And so, I admire your work. I admire how you do what you do. Just wanted to kind of get some thoughts on, what are some things that you do to make a positive impact in education?
Thanks, Jeff. I'm so happy to be here. Thanks for having the conversation.
Yes.
When we are talking about making a positive impact in education, one of the most profound ways I have found to do so is actually finding the right people to surround yourself with. And finding people who build you up and make you want to reach higher has been something that I've really found to be valuable, especially over the last few years. Working so closely with so many of my PLN from Twitter and just networking with them has truly made me want to do more always. And they are just inspiring. So honestly, finding the right people to surround yourself with has been one of the most valuable tools that I've found.
Awesome. I love that. And I think it's so true. And if we reflect on those quality relationships that we had and that have helped us, or the things that we've been blessed to achieve. So say, for example, if I made Teacher of the Year or something, that may have happened. But if it did, and it did. But really, it's not about me. It's about all of those amazing people that's around me, and it was teamwork. And I can tell you, I wasn't the best teacher on that campus. And I don't have a problem saying that. But it's certainly about the team coming together and everybody working together for a common goal. And it's always amazing when you can do that.
It truly is. That's something we talk about a lot on my campus, and just talking about how we together as a team can always accomplish more.
Yeah.
And our team will tell you that the word boss is not heard on our campus because I never want to be seen as any more than a part of the team. We all have different roles and we all get other different things done. But if we're not working together as a team, we will never win. And so being surrounded by people who are motivating and who want to do more and want to do what's best for kids makes us that Teacher of the Year, makes us want to, keep reaching higher to do better things for those people around us, whether that's the educators around us or whether that's the kids right before us or our families. And that's our biggest thing right now, is truly trying to make sure that those homeschool connections are stronger than ever.
Yeah, that's it. I know we talked about another aspect that's really big for you, social media and Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't mind, just kind of talk about some of the things that you're involved in with Twitter and how you're using that to make a positive impact as well.
Absolutely. I am proud to be part of both the Culture Ed team, which is, if you haven't been to Culture Ed, it's on Tuesday nights at 9:00 Eastern Standard Time, and the Education Never Dies team. And we meet on 9:30 on a Wednesday night. And that one is really unique in that we'll take a topic like we just did, but last night we were focusing on the power of choosing your lens and how the lens that we choose and affects the trajectory of whatever we're working on. So we did that for about a half-hour chat on Twitter, and then we took it over to Voxer and actually got to hear people's voices and listened and collaborated. And that conversation last night went on for over an hour after the chat.
Wow.
Just people who wanted to talk about it and talk about what they were doing and talk about how choosing their lens has impacted decisions they make. And honestly, surrounding myself with those people, there are just so many great people that I've been networking with that really impact the daily decisions I make. You and I had talked a little bit about being part of the Zero Apology Zone with Vernon Wright.
Mm-hmm.
And he honestly is somebody who's made me choose my lens and dig deeper every day. The questions he poses and, talking about the hustle we put into things and how we elevate others is just, we do that without apology. Like you can never be sorry for the work you're doing that's going to impact kids. And so at the end of the day, we just need to keep that focus and keep surrounding ourselves with amazing people like that, and know that when you find the right place, and that truly is what it is, you need to find the right people. And that takes time, because there are a lot of people who will come out to Twitter and be like, I didn't find it. I don't see it. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And I keep saying, just keep looking. You will find people who are just like you, who have the same lens that you're looking through, and will help you push your work forward. And that's truly, over the last year, I'd say, is what I've found, is amazing people. I'm not sure if you have been connected with the Staff Room podcast, Che and Pav. They are amazing people. They're actually from Canada, and they are doing amazing work. They're part of our Education Never Dies team. They do The Drive, which is on Friday mornings at 9:00, again, Eastern Standard Time. And it's a talk radio show that is, they play music, but they talk about educational topics, which isn't really happening here in the US. They're talking about real things that are affecting us every day. And they've had a lot of great conversations the last couple of weeks. And when you're around people like that truly make you consider why you're doing what you're doing and what your next work will be. And that's always because of the people around you. And it's always how it's going to impact our kids and our families. And that's when you've found the right people, because you never feel tired of being there. People say, you're always on Twitter. And I'm like, I am, because I've found people that I just love their minds so much that I just can't get enough out of it. So there's such power in having a positive PLN to be surrounded by.
I love it. So basically the setup for your Twitter chat, so you guys go on, you pose a topic, and then you guys just comment about the topic. Is that how that works?
Yes. So the chat on Tuesday for Culture Ed is generally that we will post different questions every 7 minutes about, and we go through about five questions, and the people will just respond to us, and generally the conversation will keep going. There are times where chats have gone throughout the week, that it becomes almost a slow chat then about topics we've kind of touched upon that we know have met people's hearts. Our Education Never Dies team has really kind of focused on a different part of that, and finding educators who we want to amplify their voice. And so it's given us a chance to work with people and to have a small chat, just 3 questions or so, and then we'll take it on to Voxer, and then those conversations honestly go on. They'll go on through that night, but they'll go on throughout the week on Voxer until we pick another topic that we know has kind of come out of those conversations. What are people looking for? What do people want to know more about and find resources for, or find people to connect with? So there are things like that just, they're just motivating, and they can be done in many different ways, but they do happen religiously every week. And the same people are there, but we keep having more and more people join our families on each one of those chats, and truly that's what it is. I do feel like those are families that people come together that trust one another, and we're able to have conversations that are tough conversations and dig deep into topics that you may not feel comfortable with at the moment, but you feel comfortable taking a risk, and it's a safe space that no one's going to judge you, and that you're going to walk away from having learned a lot. And I think that's powerful in creating those relationships.
Very much so. As you were talking about that, as far as being around the right people and working hard to give that, like you say, you're always on there, but it's really refreshing. But then also we have to be, as a leader, an impactful leader, we have to be considerate about our time, right? And refueling and replenishing. You have to refill your fruit basket.
You do.
There's I'll tell you this story about my son and my grandmother. And my grandmother has since passed, but when my son was younger, we would go over to her. She lived in a retirement apartment, and she always kept her fruit basket on her table in there. And his favorite thing was to go hang out with Mimi and eat a banana from the fruit basket. And so, of course, banana is a banana. We could get a banana anywhere, but it was Mimi's banana, and the love and the time that she took to share with him, and peel it and cut it, and ask him how his day was, and what are you gonna be when you grow up to be a big boy, and I love all of those things, the experience. And so every now and then, she would say, she looked to me and say, "Baby, y'all need to take me to the grocery store so I can refill my fruit basket." And so, in our life, we have to make sure that, we find ways to refill our fruit basket so that we're able to give those fruits to others and students and the people that we're around.
Yes, you're so right. And it is about that intentionality
Yeah.
of making sure that when we are someplace that we're truly present.
Yeah.
And I think that the fish philosophy is something that I've always prided myself in following. And I think the be there part of that is the toughest part of it, because life is so busy. It's just there's so many, and I'm trying to get away from actually using that word, because it's not, when I feel like busy has a negative connotation, that like there's so many things going on. However, when there's so many amazing things on our plate, we need to be intentional about what things we're spending time on and how much time we're doing that. So if we are intentionally having such fabulous conversations and really being focused on being there in that conversation, we're not thinking about what's coming next and what else we have to do. And just like you're saying, for him, I'm sure that his time with his grandma was like, she was 110% all about that time. And it wasn't about eating the banana. It was about the conversations that were happening, the strong bonds that were being formed. And I think that is something that is kind of a lost art, in that we need to slow down and listen. We keep talking about the art of listening and actually digesting what people are saying, but it is part of that intentionally being there and being present in the space that you're in. And so that I've worked a lot on, because the hustle and bustle of everything does not slow down. That's for sure. Right. But it's a matter of prioritizing your time and finding people that remind you of that. So you and I have talked about Basil Marin is that person for me. He's constantly reminding me, like, okay, you gotta slow down. You have to remember, like, what was our goal here? Where's your eye? What's your eye on? And having those people in your life and those relationships that remind you where your focus is. And if you kind of start to go off track a little, you got to get back in your lane, right? You got to stay in your lane and keep your eye on where you're going. So I think that's another part of that power of relationships.
Yes. And, it's crazy. Like, when we decided what we were going to talk about, we each, had a few moments to take notes. And I wrote down 3 things, and you just hit on 2 of those things. Good. Right? As far as prioritizing and being intentional. And I think that's really, truly how you make a positive impact, because, there's no wasted time, because everything that you're prioritizing, it's important to you. And then secondly, you're intentional about your actions, your day-to-day actions. So you don't do anything else besides the things that are important to you. And that's what it's about. And then the other thing I have is I call it the Shg Principle, and I'd like to share that with you if you don't mind.
Sure.
So, yes, we want to learn from the past, and yes, we want to plan for the future. But I think the secret sauce is the ability to be able to be in the moment and be present, right? And so the Shg Principle for me is a thing that I use in my life, which allows me to be present. And so the S is show up. If I tell somebody I'm going to do something, or if I sign up for something, I need to have my butt there, right? The H is have a great attitude. And for me, gratitude is the attitude that determines our altitude. And so, things could be better. Yeah, they could be way worse. So we have to make sure that we stay humble and hungry. And then the G is give your all. And some days, your all may just be 70%. or 80, or on a good day, it could be 90, but whatever it is you have to give for that day and that moment, just give it. I think that, for example, like if I SHG today, well, when I SHG today, not if, because I'm going to do that. At the end of the day, I reflect and see, with my priorities, where I am in alignment with those. Then, okay, I need to be better at whatever tomorrow. So then the next day I hit the ground running. I SHG that day.
Love that.
Same thing, reflect. Oh man, it's been a couple great days, right? So then, I continue to do that. Oh, it's been some good weeks, then months, and you get the routine, years. And so now what you've done is you've stacked, those great days. And, when we get to the opportunity where we get to see the big man, you will have, not only will you have left a legacy, but you will have lived a legacy by your day-to-day actions.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what
There's
it's
such
about.
power in reflecting.
Yes.
I love that. I actually want to frame that and put up. I have quotes all over my wall in my office, and I want to add that to it, because that's such a great lens to be looking through for every day, and just reminders. But that reflect piece is, again, something that we so often forget to do. When we set our goals and we're thinking about these things, when we actually sit back and reflect on, are we meeting those things? How much closer are we today than we were yesterday? And what do we need to do to keep progressing that forward? So that's just powerful.
That's good stuff. Well, were there any other points that you wanted to hit on before we got off that you had?
You honestly hit on so many of them. The collaboration piece was just that big piece for me.
Yeah.
Listening, but it all just goes together. But you did a great job summarizing that up, right, with your SHG.
Thank you. Well, I'd like to give you an opportunity to tell the audience where they can go follow you and check you out and show you some love.
Absolutely. You can find me on Twitter at Tara_Desiderio. And I am anxious to collaborate with anyone who is sharing that same lens of positivity and moving the work forward and looking for somebody to help you through that. I am happy to network with any of you. So look forward to meeting new people.
Well, there it is again. I want to say thank you so much for taking the time to do a topic session with me. And I wish you continued success.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
All right. Well, thank you. And thank you guys for checking out this topic session. We'll see you next time. God bless.
Go get it.